So our lead this hour coming from college football and the NFL. It's a hybrid story. And the Big Ten in particular. Another day and another brand new crop of rumors to harvest about the life and times of Jim Harbaugh. He's a Michigan man, but maybe not much longer. Now, if you've not been following along here, there have been several prominent purveyors of NFL smuck that have spread some rumors out there. Perhaps you missed some of it, but let me give you the inside skinny on the latest from Harbaugh. So the Michigan coach, Jim Harbaugh, and the school issued a prepared statement on Thursday where Harbaugh said in said statement that he expects to stay put right where he is. His tuchus will stay in Ann Arbor in 2023. This comes after multiple reports of NFL teams swooning Jim Harbaugh. The actual quote, this is verbatim here, quote, "As I stated in December, while no one knows what the future holds, I expect that I will be enthusiastically coaching Michigan in 2023, close quote from Jim Harbaugh. So that comes on the heels of the story that Harbaugh had a meeting already with David Tepper, a gazillionaire who owns the Carolina Panthers and has run them into the ground, about taking over a team that Harbaugh actually played for. A lot of people don't remember that because he didn't play very much, but at the end of his career, he did spend a little time with the Carolina Panthers for whatever that's worth. And there are reports that the Indianapolis Colts are smitten with Jim Harbaugh, captain comeback from his days in Indy, and the Denver Broncos, supposedly hot and heavy for Jim Harbaugh. So let us discuss the question, buy or sell that Jim Harbaugh is speaking the truth when he says he intends to stay at Michigan. So you buying that or selling that? So I am going to go sell, sell, sell. I've got sell, 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 sell. And then some. So I've got, on this one, I've got Will Ferrell, ASBS, and Lawless Old West. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a wonderful frosted cookie. I'm going to try to make those this weekend in the Benny the Baker. I'm going to mess around with that. I think those shouldn't be that hard to make, right? It should be all right to make those. All right, so number one. Let me try that. I think the button's broken. Number one. Yeah, see, the button's broken. All right. I tried. All right, now, what do you want from me? I don't have the sound bites. So Jim Harbaugh has one fatal flaw here in believability, the fact that he is a coach. There is no way around this. It is a great problem in terms of credibility. He lives in a village filled with cock and bull stories, overstatements, exaggerations. And there's a term for this village. Boy, that was really late. All right, okay. All right, so there's a term for this, right? But I told you the thing was broken. It's called coach speak. All right, now by definition, as a coach, you are not a straight shooter. And being a coach, college or professional sports, you are the epitome of a Will Ferrell character, Buddy the Elf. You are sitting on a throne of lies. Now, this quote is a classic example of that. As I stated, this is a quote. I just read it. I'll read it again. As I stated in December, while no one knows what the future holds, I expect that I will be enthusiastically coaching Michigan in 2023. Now, if you have listened to this show for a little bit or a lot over the years, we've given you some food for thought. And one of the things that we bring up quite a bit on this show to enlighten you is the term weasel words. Have you ever heard? You've heard that, right? Weasel words comes from the political world. Well, did you hear the weasel word in that statement? The weasel word is right there. All right? That's a humdinger of Weasley language. Expect. That's the weasel word. Expect. He says, as I stated, while no one knows what the future holds, I expect that he'll be coaching Michigan. So expecting things, right? When you were a kid, you probably expected certain things that you were going to get at Christmas or Hanukkah or for your birthday. You probably expected your parents or your uncle or your aunt or whoever was going to get you what you wanted, and you probably didn't get a lot of the things you wanted, even though you made those demands. When I was a kid, I expected when I grew up I was going to be a police officer, a firefighter, or G.I. Joe. And now I'm a gas bag. And we've all had jobs where we expect to get a raise, didn't do it. Holiday bonus, didn't get that. Expect to marry your true love. Often people complain they never find their true love. Expect to be healthy, have medical problems. We can go on and on. Expect a weasel word. Now, page 2. What is Jim Harbaugh searching for in the NFL coaching market? Right? What do you think he's searching for? So I've heard different people toss out hot takes. Well, he's better off in college. There is no world where Jim Harbaugh is better off sticking in college. He's much better off going to the NFL. College is the junior varsity. The NFL's the big leagues. Why would you not want to be in the big leagues? College is semi-professional football. They now pay the players in college football, but they like to pretend they're still student athletes. It's a joke, right? And here's the other thing. For Jim Harbaugh, it's a never-ending journey. Coaches, part of that lifestyle is nomadic, right? You're a military brat. You're always on the move every couple of years. Harbaugh has lived that nomadic life. He's almost 60 years old. He went to high school in Northern California, played college football at Michigan. He has, since college, he has lived in at least 11 different cities. He's moved 11 different times. Chicago, Indy, Baltimore, San Diego, Detroit, Charlotte, Oakland. We can go on and on. So my diagnosis here is that Jim Harbaugh is suffering from ASBS, always something better syndrome. In other words, people like this always feel there may be something better out there for them, and they're always looking for something a little bit better than they currently have, but they want to keep one foot inside the door just in case they don't necessarily find what they're looking for. But Harbaugh never intended to be coaching the Wolverines this long. We said it from the very beginning when he took over at Michigan. That was a fallback situation. He lost the power struggle with the 49ers. There was a kerfluffle, and he did not end up winning that. He exited stage left. He landed in his old stomping grounds there in Ann Arbor. It was a downtrodden Michigan program. He was the shining light, the beacon of hope. But it was only supposed to be a short stopover. Now he's been there 8 seasons, Jim Harbaugh, and he was ready last year to jump. And he's certainly more than ready now to leave and go coach at the top level. All right, final point. So how does Jim Harbaugh spin the Michigan man rhetoric and all of these declarations that he's made about staying as the coach of the Wolverines while he exits the NFL? So the timing is actually perfect. If you take a couple of steps back and look out at the Serengeti, the timing is perfect here. It is, right? Just a little spin on that, a little English, and you're good, right? Let me explain. So we mentioned he wanted the Viking job last year. He thought he had the Viking job. He didn't get the Viking job. It helps that he came back. The Wolverines, while they were tremendous disappointments against the Horned Frogs, they got poked by the Horned Frogs. They did get to the college football playoff. That's big. And Harbaugh, the last couple of years, has turned the program around. He's righted the ship, and now he can say bye-bye. And at the same time, he can make a move right out of an old spaghetti western, the lawless Old West, from saint to sinner. Because there are murmurs that Jim Harbaugh has to leave because of this level 1 violation of NCAA regulations. That's what we're being told. Been described to me that according to the bylaws, that's a severe breach of conduct that seriously undermines or threatens the integrity of college sports. Like they have any integrity in college sports, big-time college sports anyway. So Harbaugh is accused of lying like Buddy the Elf, or misleading NCAA investigators. Punishment, if there is punishment here, he's deemed guilty, would be leveled against Harbaugh personally. This is a Jim Harbaugh punishment, and among the options, suspension for a game or multiple games if he stays at Michigan. But wait, there's more. His contract includes language that would allow Michigan to fire Jim Harbaugh with cause, meaning they wouldn't have to pay him anything else. They wouldn't owe him any money. So that is a card on the table. So to rephrase this, Jim Harbaugh can either stay in Michigan, face a suspension and being tarred and feathered, or he can go to the NFL and double his salary immediately. And also, he would take a page out of Pete Carroll's old playbook, one step ahead of the law. Pete Carroll famously had built USC into a West Coast superpower, and he skedaddled off to Seattle out of town under the cover of darkness, the cloud of scandal, the great escape from SoCal to avoid the sanctions against the men of Troy. And it appears Jim Harbaugh, who famously got into it with Pete Carroll in a Stanford USC game when Stanford ran up the score and agitated the hippie coach Pete Carroll, and they got into a shouting match after the game. So wouldn't it be ironic if Jim Harbaugh does the same move that Pete Carroll did when he went off to coach the Seattle Seahawks back in the day?